It is time. Come forward, Prophet. I know what you are feeling. Mistrust. For it is the first time in the history of the Order that a stranger will receive the holy consecration. You consider it a treason against our charter, and therefore against us all. And indeed, it is true that traditions have strengthened the Order. We have ruled this land for millennia, and for millennia we have prevailed. And I know that what happened 2 years ago has unsettled you. Yes, we are in a crisis. Yes, our foundation seems to be shattered. And now you believe that I profane even what little is left by consecrating a pathless one. But you are wrong. It was always people who have given strength to the Order. People like you and me. Yes, we did serve the Lightborn, but because they embodied an idea. The idea of peace through stability. And even now, after their demise, we will pursue this idea. We are facing a threat that endangers the world as we know it. And to fight it, we need one thing above all others, the readiness to make sacrifices for the greater good. This man, like Novice Sakarish, has shown this readiness. He is talented and has a gift, and thus carries responsibility. But instead of running from this responsibility, he faced it and found us. Consecrated ones, repeat my words. This is the day when my old me dies away. For today, I receive the sigil.
This is the day when my old me dies away. For today I receive the sigil.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Thus, you are elevated to keepers of the first sigil. Rise. Go and get your armor at the temple's forge. After that, meet me in the Emporium. There's news. Ranks. After a novice has passed the trial, he is raised into the first sigil, and over the course of years, if he proves to be worthy, into higher ranks, up to the fourth sigil, which is held by the Trigessa and the Grandmaster, me. Of the first sigil, yes. Our masters will teach you, our smiths will equip you. That is all that I wanted. Walk blessed.
And that's it. It feels strange. Yes, kind of. You know, for the past 7 years, I have lived for this moment. And now I'm here. It's peculiar. Anyhow, let's talk when there's something new to talk about. Walk blessed, brother.
What do you want, urchin child? My problem with you? I don't have a problem with you. I have a problem with what you stand for. Tell me, prophet, who built this temple, which you enter and leave as frivolously as a sailor leaving a brothel? What did Malphas say to Dal Sidocius after he succeeded in suppressing the Blood Moon riot? How goes the 100th verse of the Holy Path, which the novices have to recite each morning? What is the holiest tenet of the creed to every keeper of the sigil? Why is only the highest commander of the guard allowed to enter the temple? I applaud your cunning. You know nothing, neither of our faith nor of our country, and only because you happen to have strong magic in you, Aranthiel thinks that justifies desecrating our traditions. Do you know how few Endraleans, even those of the Sublime Path, are granted the novitiate? Are you aware how hard these novices have to train and learn in order to just be allowed to enter the trial? We're not some group of tavern regulars which you can just join and leave on a whim. We are the Holy Order. We are what has kept peace in this country for millennia. And only because Tila has doted on this idiocy of cycles and prophecies, He feels it's justified to abolish this country's foundations with a flick of his fingers. You, urchin child, you're the living proof of what has become of this country. Even just your boot prints on this sacred ground are blasphemy to everything we stand for. What I see is a country that now more than ever needs peace, stability, and a strong leading hand. And transforming this order into a bunch of fortune-tellers, wild mages and thimble-riggers will only make the situation worse. Do you even know how many of our people were killed in the war Tila's fool of a son started? And now his former people, Pegast, Skyrim, whatever they call themselves, tread on these sacred grounds as if there were nothing more natural in the world. Now leave. Do what you want, but spare me your presence.
Prophet, did you find your way around? Good. It is important that you get adjusted to this place. It will be the base of all operations to come. Right now, we are still in the dark as to the true nature of this cycle. All we have are fragments, but we will change that. There are 2 trails we have found. I want you to go after both of them. The first one has to do with the stone fragments from Old Rashengrad. Pegast has not yet told you, but all of them together form a so-called sigilled stone, which we urgently need. The arcanists have already put it together, but we still lack a part of the ritual to activate it. And for that, we need the memory of a dead person. The second trail revolves around a discovery we made in the Heartland. It could be a significant, if not the only prospect we have in this fight. Where do you want to start? It's simple. I've told you that the Pyreans knew about the cycle, and that they too battled it before they vanished. The sigilled stone was a magical defense they created to protect themselves from the Red Madness. Through small fragments that segregate once a certain ritual is performed on it. Wear one of these fragments and it will serve you like a shield for your spirit. The stone won't produce enough for all citizens of Ark, but enough for all of us keepers and the guard. The problem is that we lack knowledge about this ritual, and those who have it have been dead for millennia. Correct. The entire plan revolves around a discovery which is exhibited in the Chronicum. The frozen corpse of a Pyrean, which a fisherman found adrift in the Northern Sea some years ago. Yes, the ice prevented his body from decaying. But go to the Chronicum and speak to Archmagister Maragil. He will be able to explain it better than I can.
He was no high priest, but more than an acolyte. Let's just hope he participated in the manufacture of the sigil stone back in the Pyrean era.
Well, hoping can't hurt. But look, we have company.
Dalvarek, Archmagister, how's the situation?
Walk blessed, Grandmaster. We're fine. Everything is ready. So this is him?
Yes, this is the Prophet.
Interesting. Truly interesting. I imagined you to be different. I'm Lexiel Maragil, Archmagister of the Holy Order. Pleased to make your acquaintance. So, where do we start? Has the Grandmaster already informed you of the goal of this mission? Correct. Now you're wondering, how will this be possible? This is where the Word of the Dead comes into play. An old relic we'll need to find.
The Word of the Dead? I thought that was a legend.
No, it exists. And we also know where. Just so you understand, the Word of the Dead is an artifact that allows entering a deceased person's mind to relive his last memories as if they were your own.
And you want to do just that with our frozen pal here. This is the grand plan, right?
Right. You'll need to locate the Word of the Dead, teleport the Pyrean's body to you, and then enter his thoughts. And there you'll have to look for the words of the ritual. Well, we only lack the last words of this ritual. What you have to look for is an ornamental scroll, which looks just like the one on the drawing I'll give you in a moment. All you have to do is remember the glyphs and the scroll, then write them down once you're back in the waking world. True, but we're talking about a different form of magic. It works similarly to the forbidden school of entropy. That's right, but the priest himself did. And according to the legend, this should allow you to understand. You're telling me. I myself feel like a myriad in a toad's pond. But alternatively, we'd have to excavate every ruin on Vin and hope that some priest left one of the scrolls behind. Well, this is...
There's an old manor in Enderal's west that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the word of the dead is in his possession.
Hang on. Are you talking about this odd fellow with the puppets? The aged man from the folk song?
I am. You won't take it. It will be enough to find it. Use it on the Pyrean and then leave. You will travel to the manor with Dalvarek, wait for nightfall, and then introduce yourself to the aged man as a fellow collector of artifacts. Then you will offer him this brooch, and if all goes well, he will offer you a quarter for the night to negotiate in the morning. Then it's all a matter of timing. Sneak out of your room, look for the word of the dead, and teleport the Pyrean to you. A good question, but no. The aged man is special, so to speak. Even the Lightborn ordered us to let him live in peace. The Black Guardian knows why. So, if we have to trick him, we will at least do it inconspicuously, which is why you and the mercenary are well suited for the task. No one will connect your faces to the Holy Order. Then you'll flee. There must be no violence, no matter what happens. Archmagister?
Yes, well, that is a good point. We don't know, because we don't even know what the artifact looks like. But, how goes the saying? The proof of the eating is in the pudding.
We'll manage somehow. And even if we don't, it definitely sounds like an adventure.
It's a great responsibility, be aware of that. But I have faith in both of you. Now get going as soon as you can. This mission will be fruitful. I can feel it.
Whew. And there they go. Yep, just meet me at the Myrids Tower at the Western Cliff. I'll go grab my stuff now. Huh? The scar. Well, let's put it this way. If you one day end up in a Tal Galean tavern and two 6-foot-tall Arazalian women invite you into their room, you should either damn well know who they are or make a run for it. Never heard of it? It's the capital of Araziel. At least if you ask the civilized people. Hands up. Guilty. Some rich snob had hired me back then to bring him a totem from one of the camps of the Free People. That is, the Arazelians who worship their ancestors' gods, instead of the Lightborn, and live as nomads. Since you're part Arazelian, I'll just assume you know a little about the conflict between the civilized and the Free People there. The assassinations, the blood feuds, and so on. The usual, if two sides both believe they're on the right side of history. No idea how much you know about Araziel, but the Free People have been in conflict with the civilized people, who do worship the Lightborn, for centuries now. Assassinations, blood feuds, and so on. The usual, if two sides both believe they know it all better. Anyway, obviously this job of mine originated from that feud. The totem belonged to a free tribe, and the snob wanted it in order to publicly defile it. So I got it for him. Oh, why, of course. I still cried myself to sleep months after that. Seriously, why should I? Both the free and civilized are so eager to bash each other's heads in, it's not like one defiled totem more or less would have made any difference. Correct. And I was a little drunk and a little lonely, if you get what I mean. Have you ever seen a pure-blooded Arazelian woman in her 20s? It's really hard to say no to that. In any case, as you already noticed, the whole thing went down differently than expected. My face made acquaintances with a table leg and 4 absolutely untender women's feet and hands. And of course the totem was gone, together with all my clothing and money. I guess I had that coming somehow. That's what happens if you ask your loins rather than your head in the wrong situations. Yeah. Oh, woe, such a cold world this is. I present you my deepest scars, you thank me with naught but mockery. Be damned, O impish creature. But anyway, how does the saying go? A truly beautiful face can never be tarnished. And that's why you enjoy working with me. Yeah, I did. Why do you ask? That's a good question. I suppose in the end, it was just a hunch I had. Plus, all these civil wars in other countries didn't exactly invite one to stay. Well, I guess that depends on where you're standing. Of course, times can be tough, especially if you come to a new city or even country where you know nobody. But if you're good at what you do, which I am, there's always work, everywhere. And yeah, I don't eat God's tongue for breakfast, but it was always enough for a roof over my head when I wanted, and some other earthly pleasures. That's what life's all about, isn't it? Now, aren't you inquisitive? Let me think. I spent most of my time abroad in Kira, and also a couple of years on the Isles of Kile. And there was this mission that led me to Maiar Aranath once. What am I, a traveling tome? I'm afraid I'm not a very good storyteller. But Kira's great. The people there are so much freer in their way of thinking. There are the great bazaars, the palaces of the merchant lords, and the fortress of the mages' circles. But you just have to see it for yourself someday. Oof. Different. As beautiful as the Isles are, there's always this feeling of rush and competition. Have you ever heard of the game penny? On Kile, it's not a crime if a merchant tries to cheat a customer. It's the customer's fault if he doesn't see the fraud. But if he does, the merchant owes him a token penny. Bizarre, isn't it? But over there, it's common practice. Yeah, it is. I was there with a group of mercenaries. We were hired to get something from a tower in the old capital. Not a nice spot of earth, truly. There's this fog everywhere, and with every step you take, you have to be careful the swamps don't get the better of you. But of course, that's also what makes it exciting.
Yes? What do you want? I'm the servant, so no, I'm not. And if you're looking for charity, you've come to the wrong place. Do you now? So what could two traveling merchants dressed in rags have that might be of interest to my master? This is the silver brooch of a seraph. Where did you get this? Well then, this changes the situation. You may enter. Plus, forgive my harshness. I misjudged you. Unfortunately, Master Gages is currently playing music, and will be at least until dawn. But you can make yourself comfortable in the guest room. He will see to you in the morning.
Okay, that sounds good. Today we wouldn't have made it back to Ark anyway. Just try to get a high reward into flying this weather. So, nice house you've got here. So it's just you and your master who live here, right? People talk about him a lot.
Please, but just save the small talk. You're here for business. Good. Now follow me upstairs. I'll show you to your quarters. As I said already, Master Gages will play through the night. My apologies if his music keeps you awake. But if you want a piece of advice, listen. You won't hear anything comparable in all of Vin.
Well, then we'll do just that. So I take it your master's an artist, right? I saw the puppets. They're interesting.
Interesting. Yes, that they are. Master Gages always says art is unique because it allows us to see what our mind doesn't want us to see.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, we all have demons inside of us, don't you agree, Miser Dalvaric? Memories, truths about ourselves we've locked away somewhere in our unconscious because we don't want to confront them. True art surpasses all these barriers because it reminds us of who we truly are.
Interesting thought.
All right, here we are. Make yourselves at home. I will inform you once the Master is ready to see you. By the way, call it intuition or premonition, but I somehow had the feeling we would have company tonight, and took the liberty of preparing a small meal. I'm afraid the meat is a little charred, but it should taste good. Now, please excuse me. I have to rest. It is late, and the day has been exhausting.
Of course. Sleep well. And thanks for your hospitality.
You're welcome.
And there he goes. Call me paranoid, but this all went a little too smooth for my liking. Yeah. For example, the fact that he was already standing near the gate when you rang, and that he lives with a man who's older than the Black Guardian, at least according to the legends. But, well, to each his own. Yeah, 1 or 2 hours at least, until this servant's asleep. I've got a skin of wine with me, so if you want we could enjoy it in the meantime. I wouldn't touch this food if I were you. You could tell me about this trial while we're waiting. Or about anything, just distract me from those damn ugly puppets over there. Interesting thought. The thing about the last moment that lasts forever. Did you know that Kyrian mentalists are apparently able to sort of become aware in their dreams? And apparently, in a dream, one can exist free from time. There's a story about an Arcanist who spent 1,000 years in a dream while he only slept 8 hours in his waking life. But, well, that's a topic on its own. I think it's late enough for our little excursion now. Let's find that relic.
Gages, why did you wake me? Are we there yet? Oh, you did? Oh, that's kind of you. But don't worry so much about me, darling. I'll manage somehow. I'm sorry you have to go through all this, really. All this time, I can hardly imagine how hard that must be for you. But I still believe in our dream. I still do.
Who? By the highest being? You! I thought you were dead.
Jakal. He betrayed us. They're all dead.
What?
Yes, but it doesn't matter. We have to get away from here. His armies, they're everywhere, and they're killing everyone. What about Lilanya? Is she alright?
Yes, she's asleep. But where do you want to go? Come on, get inside. We'll talk about it there. Our brother, he's here too. He arrived last night.
Kumar? I thought he was up north.
He was, yes. But he rode back when he heard about the siege. He wants to help defend the city. He will be angry when he finds out that you fled, you know?
Staying would have been suicide. He would understand.
Kumar, our...
I see it. Why are you here?
The Treasure Master betrayed us, and Jakal's troops have gone crazy. They're massacring their entire city. They said we...
I know that, but you didn't answer my question. Why are you here?
Where else should I be, damn it? The High Ones won. They won, and this accursed cleansing will happen, whatever it is. But if there's only the slightest chance that we can make it through, I will use it. Unlike you, I do have someone I need to take care of.
Let's hope she doesn't take after her father. Your cowardice disgusts me, brother. You never understood what it meant to be an Aishin.
He won't let us flee. You do realize that, right? He will force you to keep your oath, to stay and fight. To the death.
I will talk to him. We'll do this, sister, somehow.
Yes, of course we will. There's still some stew. I will prepare a bowl for you, all right? You go and look after the little one. I think she is slowly beginning to understand what's happening here.
Well, isn't that good timing? I have been thinking, and I have decided that I will not let my only brother die as a deserter. We will ride to the city at first light and help with the defense.
That's not going to happen. I told you that. Zura and I will take Lelania and flee to the north. Come with us or don't, but you will not get in our way. Period.
Period. Thank the highest being that we're family. Just thank God.
Do you really think you can stop us? For every one of us you kill, a dozen more will come.
No, please. I don't want any of this. No one wants any of this. Just let us go. I have a daughter.
Well, what do you think? I brought you here. After you broke into my sanctum and made your little journey into the realm of the dead. Oh, please, don't look at me like that. I knew what you were up to from the start. Sadly enough, I did. No, you don't. Because you don't dare to question. Peculiar situation, all of this, isn't it? Suddenly you, the fugitive urchin, become mankind's salvation. And suddenly, just like that, out of nowhere, you can perform feats others would require decades to master. Even better, you're one of the emissaries who can hear the echo of the future. But still, you never asked yourself why. You're right, I do. But if there's one thing time has taught me, there are things one has to realize for him or herself. You can't force insight on people. It has never worked, and it never will. Who am I? Back then, I might have given you an impressive response to that. But at this time, I couldn't say anything that would help you. Let's just say, I'm an observer. A fleshless eye, if you prefer. In this era, you might also know me as the Aged Man. Yes, and I'm certain that irritates you. But timelessness isn't that much of a feat. You will find that out yourself soon enough, too. Amongst other things, yes, the cycle. Believe me, all I say is quite thought through. But unfortunately, there's no point in pursuing this conversation any further. You have what you came for, and the rest is up to you. Even though I doubt it will make much of a difference. Maybe you could do just that, but time will tell. Now, forgive me.
You? But what the heck was that? Where's the manor? Try me. Any explanation's better than none. It sounds strange, to say the least. After you went down that shaft, someone locked the door to the study, and I couldn't get it open, no matter what I tried. Well, a couple hours later, I found myself face down in a puddle of mud. But anyway, these glyphs you drew on paper look good to me. So at least officially, this mission was a success. I only wish I could. You see that? What's that? Casket? But where's this noise coming from? This is it? But then the aged man left it on purpose. For us. Whew. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but it seems to me as if this fellow knew a lot more than we did from the start. Still, we should take this thing with us. Let's go back to Ark and report to the Grand Master. I've got a scroll right here with me. What do you say? Well then, let's go.
Prophet, were you successful? Then tell me, So he knew about the cycle. That's disquieting and interesting. Yes, maybe that's an attempt to help us. He's not against us, because if he were, he wouldn't have let you out alive. I bet that the Lightborn also knew more about the aged man than they told us. This explains why Malphas told the Order specifically not to bother him. But we will discuss his identity another time. What matters is that you were able to find the missing glyphs, and that we now have this relic, however useful it will be in the future. Bring both of them to the Archmagister, so that we can activate the Sigil Stone. Oh, and one more thing. What did the Pyreans in your memory call those behind the cleansing? The High Ones? Good. Then the enemy has a name now. Come back to me once you've talked to Maragil. Pegast still needs your help.
Well, keep up this babble, and he might do it on purpose. You godlambs are just missing the pepper, even when you're doing magic.
Pepper? Magic leads to our prudence, not pepper. She's like a sick frog. If you... Prophet, you're back.
Sun be praised. Working with these fumblers is harder than teaching complex mathematics to a Leor. The Scrounger already told me about your success. Good work. Have you got the glyphs? Yes, just show me already. Yes, that does make sense. Step back, I'll show you how this works.
That's not what I mean. Her death broke him, yes.
Jarem, Dorma, Nubis, Lokarem, Taris, Danida, Sharak, Lishamra.
Sorry.
Just trying to say that...
By the righteous path. Are you feeling this?
It was your
Yes,
grief
this is impressive.
against the
Truly
village
impressive.
that made him
Are those the
susceptible
shards?
to the red madness in
They're
the
certainly
first
not your underpants, are they? According to the Piraean writings, these shards offered protection against the red madness, as long as the Sigil Stone remains active. Prophet, you're the one who found the missing glyphs, so you should go first. Go on, touch one of the shards. How do you feel? Very well. Then let's hope that this Sigil Stone lives up to its promise. Boy, go and tell the quartermaster that every keeper, as well as each one of us, is to be wearing one of these fragments by nightfall.
Boy!
Buzz off.
My sir, I really don't think this...
Do what he says, Legion. That is not how you will make friends here, Firespark. Not at all.
If it were friends I was looking for, I certainly wouldn't be here. Once again, good work. Old Aranthiel asked me to give you that, so you could buy better equipment. Now go back to him, and let him tell you about the next mission. It seems that Lishari has once again dug up something that could change everything.
This feeling just now. That was the Sigil Stone, wasn't it? Very well. That only leaves us with Pegast's excavation. Are you ready? I'll make it short. We assume that in the last cycle, the Pyreans worked on a machine which they hoped would save them from the cleansing. An old artifact which they tried to put back together. Well, we do know that the cycle is not an ordinary threat. It functions in a way we have not even come close to comprehending, almost like a cosmic force.
Yes, it makes sense.
This makes it naive to believe one could face this threat like a foe made of flesh and blood. Maybe, however, this machine can. As I said, the Pyreans didn't invent this machine. They merely reconstructed it from old plans they found somewhere. And if they thought this idea was worth pursuing, we should at least look into it. Pegast found an old ruin named Old Dothelgrad, which seemed to be some kind of laboratory of the Dilgar, one of the ruling castes in the Pyrean era. She assumes that we might find hints about this machine there, or maybe even a prototype. I want you to help her in any way possible. Maybe your gift can reveal things normal eyes can't see. Yes, because they never had a chance to finish it. The Pyrean realm was in a constant state of war shortly before the cleansing, just like Vin has been for the past few years. And even if the machine does not work, any knowledge we can get from their struggle against the cycle is crucial. They were the two different castes who ruled the Pyrean realm. Officially, they were servants of their highest being, the deity all of Pyrea worshipped, but everyone knew that it was the castes who had the power. And while the Ishian valued tradition, the Dilgar valued progress, which, as you can imagine, led to differences between the two, to say the least. They were the Lightborn of the Pyrean era, you could say. It's in a remote section of the Heartland. Keeper Sakaresh will accompany you there and show you the way. Good luck.
There you are. The Grandmaster already briefed me on our mission. Shall we go? Why do you ask? Does it bother you? Yes, that's true. To answer your question, I don't know. I assume I am accompanying you because we both did the trial together, but as to why you are assigned to such a crucial mission is beyond me. It seems the Grandmaster really does believe in your role as a prophet, whatever that may mean. But anyway, I suggest we save these questions for later. For now, let's focus on the task at hand. Yes, the ruin isn't far from here. Just meet me at the Myrids Tower in the Northern Heartland. I will wait for you there once I finish my preparations.
You? Out of all the goddamn people in this goddamn land, you are the last person I expected to see here. Well, congratulations. Though I don't have the slightest idea what good getting wasted on weird droge can possibly do.
Nightshade Elixir isn't just some weird droga. It's a centuries-old recipe that was already being used by the first vassals. Maybe you should have known that before judging our traditions.
Well, now I do. And just who exactly are you?
Kalia Sakaresh, keeper of the first sigil. I was exalted together with the one you call the prophet.
Sakaresh? You're the girl from the village.
Maybe. Have you heard of me?
Well, there are some interesting rumors revolving around you. Let's put it that way. But who am I to complain? 2 keepers are certainly better than those idiots from the guard. Actually, you've come at just the right time. You'll be surprised, but I've found myself in almost exactly the same trouble as in Alt-Rashengrad. Seems I have a knack for that kind of shit. Almost. This time it was bandits. They ran in here about 2 hours ago and charged through us like we were bloody beginners. Well, that's the problem. Do you see that hallway over there? It leads down into the ruin. And now, guess what those fuckers did? They dashed right into it, and somehow succeeded in accidentally activating some kind of mechanism that locks down the whole passage. Now, anyone who gets too close to it gets roasted like a chicken. So now we can't go down, and they can't come up. We believe so, yes. That is what makes the whole thing so annoying. No, they didn't wear the robes that the ones in Alt-Rashengrad did. And they also seemed kind of unorganized to me. And scared, as if they were running from something. My guess is that they were trying to hide from something and thought the ruin was deserted. Somehow, yes, but would you place the button to deactivate the trap right next to the door it's supposed to protect? We need to find another way down. But at least we've got a clue. Some kind of hidden entrance. We're still stuck getting it open, though. Come, I'll show you. Who knows? Maybe you'll see something in the past that might help us. Here we go. And before you ask, our dead buddy on the platform was already there when we got here. No idea what's keeping his body from decaying. It looks like some kind of magic to me. So I'd say just take a look around. I'm sure the bells have something to do with the riddle.
Maybe. Are you alright? You look pale. You did? Then this mage woman was right. What did you...
How was I right? How was I right? Seriously? By the prophet's ass, that's, convenient. But who am I to complain? So, what's the deal with those bells? Be my guest. Just make sure that you don't accidentally collapse this place, okay?
There we go. That trick has yet to disappoint me. So what do you say now, you piece of shit? I'll make you pay for what you... Well, that's just great. The fucker brought his bitch with him.
Put down your weapon. I don't want to hurt you.
Oh, is that so?
All of your men are dead. And even if you manage to get past us, there are dozens of guards further up. So put down your weapon, or you will regret it.
Such determination. All right, then. Die!
As you wish. Are you all right? It's nothing. Did he hurt you? Can you walk? What is this, an interrogation? As I see it, I just saved your damn life. So why don't you do me a favor and keep the questions to yourself? I'm sorry, it's too much right now. We'll talk about it once we get back to the temple. Now, come on, we should push forward. I fell, thank Malphus, into a thicket farther down the ruin. It was some kind of machine room, at least that's what it looked like to me. And luckily enough, that's also how the traps in the entrance are being controlled. I tried to deactivate them. We'll see if it worked. Anyway, do you see the camp down there? We should take a look at it.